Do you know why we're talking about stress this morning? Because some new statistics have showed, haven't they, that 9 in 10 of us have experienced high or extreme levels of pressure or stress in the last year.
Absolutely. And people talk about stress as always being a bad thing, but a little bit of stress is good. It's motivational, it increases alertness and focus. If you look at a graph of the amount of stress that we're under and our performance, it goes up and up. From 0, a little bit of challenge is a good thing. It gets you focused, you rise to the challenge, you're at peak performance. But too much stress means that performance suffers. You can't cope with it all. You get anxious, you get depressed, you can't sleep, and performance comes off the rails. So stress needs to be managed. You need to manage the right amount of stress for peak performance. And if you don't do that, if you're under chronic stress, as 9 out of 10 people apparently are, you can have all sorts of effects, physical and psychological, on the body, from headaches to muscle tension to palpitations, chest pain, period irregularities, changes in blood pressure.
Skin conditions as well.
Skin conditions as well. Libido can be affected, weight gain. All of these things are related to chronic stress.
Well, you know, my alopecia started when my dad died. I was only a kid, but it's never come back. You know, I've got patches of hair. Okay. And that is a stress response as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Like hair loss in women also can be a stress response.
Because when we release those stress hormones, that like adrenaline and noradrenaline, there's vasoconstriction. The blood vessels in the skin shrink down, which can affect hair follicle health and growth. So, yeah, all of these things are possible.
So many things, doesn't it? Now, look, scream clubs.
Yes.
Are these the answer? They've popped up in London and Manchester over the weekend.
Indeed. So this was popularised by a guy called Arthur Yanov in the 1970s, wrote a book about primal scream therapy. Celia Imrie has been seen in Traitors, hasn't she, screaming? There she is, having a good old scream.
To be honest with you, it cheered everyone up.
He would do. I mean, it's scream therapy. So in Manchester and London, the clubs got together and people were seen screaming en masse for long periods of time.
It's slightly creepy because it is in the month of Halloween, so I would be wondering...
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a benefit to it, truly?
Well, according to Yoko Ono and John Lennon in the 70s, there is. I mean, it's a release of energy. It's a release of pent-up energy. I mean, most people do this in the car. If they've got car rage, or people might do it, you know, they might swear as a release of built-up energy.
Yeah.
So it's similar to that. And for some people, you know, deliberately screaming is a release.
Yeah.
Personally, I think if you do it once for a couple of seconds, it's fine. I'm not sure about doing it in a group for long periods of time. It might actually increase your stress levels because you're screaming in anger.
But, you know, in sort of world of meditation and so on, there is another thing that is about laughing, like making yourself sit there. Yeah. You've seen those videos as well, which is a sort of
I spent time with the laughing guru.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm almost thinking maybe we should laugh more.
Well, we should. Yeah, laughter is important as well, and that's a release of some emotion. So the real thing about primal scream therapy is it's fine for some people. I think there are better ways of dealing with stress. I think meditation's important. I think physical exercise is really important because it burns up those harmful stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which otherwise affect blood glucose levels and weight distribution around the body if it's left for too long. So I think the real thing is to identify the cause of your stress in the first instance so you can deal with it and resolve it. Otherwise, it's just continuing.
Well, and although if you are going through, you know, changes in your work or you're worried about money, these things are continual throughout the year, aren't they? You're worried about someone's health. That can be a continual level of high stress. Yeah. So what you're saying is have things that you can do regularly
it's about coping.
Keep it on that graph.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about coping mechanisms.
Manageability. And you mentioned cortisol. There's so much talk about cortisol now, isn't there? Yeah. Because why? Why is that becoming...
Well, cortisol is the hormone which is released during high levels of stress and which is I suppose, the orchestrator of our stress response, along with adrenaline and noradrenaline. So adrenaline kicks in first. That's the fight or flight reaction. That gives us the palpitations, the sweating, the butterflies and pumps our muscles full of energy so we can run away or fight. But we don't need that in a modern world. Yeah. And after that's kicked in, then cortisol is released later on and gives us a more calming influence, and suppresses inflammation. but it can have damaging effects. It can raise blood pressure if it's left too long. It affects our sleep. It can contribute to dementia, we think. So, you know, it's about balancing. So 4 things we can do is make sure we get good sleep. You know, we talk about cortisol sleep, where we're tired but we can't get to sleep, or we wake up throughout the night. So sleeping is important.
Yes, and can I just say on that one, what was interesting was, as a woman anyway, that my doctor said, take progesterone in the evenings, you know, that because that helps you sleep better, and therefore your cortisol is more managed, and therefore all the sort of rage that comes along with perimenopause, it sort of does calm it down. So sleep in that way is really important.
Tips like that, and avoiding caffeine, of course, because you know, too late in the day that will stimulate more stress because it's a stimulant. Then don't procrastinate. Don't put off the priority things that you know you have to do till tomorrow. Deal with them today, and then they're out of the way. And if you've got things on your mind, write them down, put them on your bedside, and forget about them till tomorrow. And I think, finally, exercise. Physical exercise in nature is really good at making those calming hormones.
And it doesn't mean you have to go for a run, just go for a walk.
No, just for a walk in the countryside, or just outside in the park. Anywhere. Brilliant. But that fresh air, bit of physical exercise, do you the world of good.
Maybe have a little scream.
A little one. Without anybody hearing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Hills.
Looking for more health and wellness content? Well, there's plenty more really useful information right here on our channel. How about you check out this one?